Okay, welcome back to the channel. And for those of you that are new here, my name is DAgostino and I talk about photography techniques and gear. So if this is something that you're interested in, you are in the right place. So the purpose of this video, I'm just going to lay it out to you really quick. As some of my dedicated viewers know, I am unscripted, so there are consistently mistakes throughout the audio, if you will. But regardless, today's video, I traveled to Arizona last week with my trusty Leica Q2, a camera that I often take on vacation with me just because of the simplicity. One camera, one lens, high megapixels, so I can crop in if I wish to, fast focusing. Really a camera that I really don't need to think about. Almost like a point and shoot, but just a really, really expensive and nice one. Regardless, went to Arizona with my wife and our friends, and I traveled to Phoenix. I went to Sedona. I went all the way up to Page to photograph Antelope Canyon and Horseshoe Bend, which are iconic areas in Arizona to photograph. Back down to Sedona again for a few days, and then also to Scottsdale. So what you're going to see is you're going to see me obviously giving you this commentary right now. You're going to see a lot of video footage with the GoPro Hero 10 that I had mounted on top of my Q2. So there will be a slight POV style video, maybe a little bit of commentary with the GoPro, so I apologize for the audio right off the bat with that. And you're going to see some of the images that I took in various areas of Arizona, which was fantastic. We really only had bad weather one day where it was raining and cold, but other than that, and that made for some interesting shots as well. With the Leica Q2 being weatherproof, with my traveling along with my nomadic Peter McKinnon style bag. It was perfect, not a problem at all. And like I said, you're going to see some of the photos from this trip. A lot of them, if you enjoy the color process that I'm using, a lot of them are color graded in Lightroom with my film collection V2, I believe it is. Well, film collection. I'll put the link below. And these are shameless plugs, but plugs. What is a plung? Is a plung even a thing? I don't, what is a plung? No. Shameless plugs. Film collection, Lightroom presets, as well as my cinematic grade, so my Cin collection. Cin collection has like 20 something presets in it. So you're going to see some of those. You'll be able to tell the difference right off the bat. The film ones look like film, and the dramatic lighting colored style are, well, Cin collection. Maybe a few black and whites in there as well with my monochrome, but I'm done with the plugs. That's it, guys. Enjoy, sit back, relax, take in Arizona for all it's worth. And it's definitely an amazing place to go and definitely photograph. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned. All right, so here we are, Arizona. We are on our way to Prescott. We landed in Phoenix. We're gonna be in Prescott for about a day or two, and then we're gonna head back to Phoenix, pick up our friends, and then head up to Sedona. But we're gonna just check out Watson Lake. I'm gonna be shooting the Leica Q2 throughout the whole series. So I'll give you updates on that, but you guys know that I shoot this camera all the time, usually always when I'm on vacation. So it seems to be the standard for me. I was gonna bring the Sonys, but at the end of the day, simple is best for me, and I don't like getting bogged down by all the equipment. So if I can't get it done with the Leica Q2, then I got something wrong with me. So we'll be shooting this. All right. Oh boy, don't get a rattlesnake. Okay, so here we are again at Watson Lake, and just outside of Prescott, and obviously I have a ton of GoPro footage, and I didn't want to just overcrowd the entire thing with it, but obviously I fast forwarded right here, but my wife hiking up this, I guess, hill, just checking out the landscape. And again, just gonna grab some shots here before we actually enter the town of Prescott. Our hotel room wasn't ready yet, so we were just burning some time, and we were told that this is a really cool spot, and it is a really cool spot. There was no wind, so there was a ton of flies kind of just hanging out in some of the stagnant water, but it is what it is, and I was still able to get some shots. So this is kind of what you're seeing here. And like I said, I'm going to be doing these voiceovers on and off throughout. And again, it is a longer video, and I apologize for that, but at the end of the day, sit back and enjoy, relax. All the photos that you see, again, are the Q2, and here's a nice reflection shot for you of an example of that. But all right, I'll shut up now for a little bit. Okay, and in a minute here, we are entering the town of Prescott. And Prescott, Arizona is kind of like a small walking town. I guess you could call it a city. It's very small, but you know, fun nonetheless. And here I am capturing some of those usual images that you see from me if you followed me for any amount of time on Instagram. These kind of, you know, nothing style images, just cool buildings, stuff that I don't always see in New York City or Philadelphia. You know, in smaller towns, you get this kind of vibe. So, you know, I'm just walking around. It's kind of cool to see, like, you know, mountains peeking out through the horizon as opposed to just stacked cities or pine trees, which I'm used to. So really cool for, you know, some fun shots. Again, nothing mind-blowing. It's not like I'm going to be creating, you know, stunning work here, but just, you know, fun shots nonetheless, more of a travel vlog type of situation. And, you know, we were in Prescott for the day, and we stayed overnight. We ate late at night at one of the restaurants and some of the cool bars. They have this really cool bar called the Palace Hotel, I believe it is, a Palace Bar. It's one of the oldest bars in Prescott. So we ate there, and, you know, we had some drinks there. And I got a really cool picture of a guy out front. I don't know if I'll throw it in this series or not, but it is on my Instagram page. Probably put it in a blog, you know, associated with this travel vlog. But again, just stuff that I see out on the streets, and, you know, fun colors and shapes and, you know, shadows, and, you know, just working the angles here, and you know, just trying to get some hip shots of some people as I go by, and you'll see one of those coming up soon. But then after this, we drive back down to Phoenix, and we take a hot air balloon ride. So you'll be seeing that come up soon too. My wife in front of our hot air balloons, and then doing all that for the day, and that was amazing. So like I said, here we are with Rainbow Riders out in the desert right off of Phoenix. It was actually quite a ride. We had a couple different sites that we had to check out to find out exactly where we were going to launch from, because obviously it's important to judge the wind. And here I am thinking that they got some kind of technical way of checking the wind, which, you know, I guess they monitor, well, they say they monitor the weather throughout the day, but they end up throwing up a helium balloon and watching it. And everybody was kind of laughing like, oh God, here we are getting in this air balloon, and their scientific way of judging the wind is to launch a small helium balloon up in the air and watch it. Kind of made for a nerve-wracking situation, but all in all, it was great. These guys were true professionals, Rainbow Riders. I can't recommend them enough. As far as a tour, such a professional operation, big scale production, beautiful hangars, and all their equipment is top notch, and and their personnel and their staff are just really friendly and knowledgeable, and really good time, and make you feel comfortable. And yeah, it was really cool. And you know, awesome having a camera with me. You know, it would have been nice to have a zoom lens. This is where, you know, you do run into some limitations with the Q2. You can crop in a little bit, as you know, because of the megapixels. But at the end of the day, you know, wide angle still works as well. 28 is not too shabby when it comes to scenes like this. And there's also a reason that you'll see in a few moments to always have a camera with you. And I don't know, enjoy. Flip this around here, guys. Okay, so yeah, as you saw, turn my camera off. Hot air balloon ride with Rainbow Riders. It was awesome. Went up and down. Had pilot Jesse, newcomer, really good pilot, nice guy, young dude from actually New Jersey. But here we are in the desert. This is where we landed. Really cool sunset right now, and just took a couple pictures, as you saw, of really cool cactus. But just really awesome in the desert. The weather's been amazing. So sun's going down now. Actually had an engaged couple. Well, they're engaged now. They actually got engaged on the the flight. So you might see one of those pictures pop up as well. All right, guys. See ya. Okay, so here we are driving up to Chapel Rock, I believe this is. Chapel of the Holy Cross in Sedona. Oh, I got that way wrong. And this is a really, really cool site. Well-known little chapel up on the hill with a beautiful cross. A lot of people come up here. It's a steep little walk, but you just get this beautiful overall scene of the valley of Sedona. So really, really cool spot. The light was just beautiful. It just really lent itself well to like that filmic look, that filmic vibe. You know, light is subjective. Well, not light, but editing is subjective. I've always said that, and some people think that, you know, you got to make everything exactly accurate as you see in real life. I tend to color grade my photos the way that I see fit and the way that I enjoy them. There's a little selfie. My wife took this picture, and it goes to show you that you don't really need to be an experienced photographer to use a Leica Q2. It's a very simple camera to use. But getting back to what I was saying, I enjoy it. I enjoy this filmic look, and these are with my Lightroom presets, filmic collection V2, I believe it is, or it might be V1, I'm not sure. I think it's V2, but regardless, you can see it does have a nature of kind of like a Kodak portrait. If you guys enjoy that, they are on the site. But yeah, just nonetheless, a lot of fun. I really enjoy these photos. Some of my favorite out of the entire trip. All right, here we are, day 3, I think. We're in Sedona right now. We're heading all the way up to Page, Arizona, right near like the Grand Canyon. We're gonna hit Upper Antelope Canyon, which everybody knows. You've seen the photos of the mountainside. I think it's like sandstone, I don't know. But that's kind of like Disneyland. From what I hear, it's completely commercialized. So we'll see what we can get there, but then we're gonna head to Horseshoe Bend for sunset. But we got like a 4-hour drive, so we're gonna hit Horseshoe Bend. We'll catch that for sunset. That's a gorgeous spot. And again, everything's just gonna be shot with the Leica Q2. I apologize for the noise. I'm right on the side of a highway at my hotel in Sedona. And like I said, we're gonna hit that, and you can actually see the sunset hitting the cliffs, or sunrise hitting the cliffs behind me, the mountains. But we're gonna head up the Page, and like I said, Horseshoe Bend. And hopefully the 28mm on the Leica Q2 is going to be enough. I know you really need ultra wide with that area, but I'm gonna make do. Maybe I'll do a pano and stitch it. But you guys will come along with me for the ride. All right, stay tuned for the next one. Okay, so here we are leaving Sedona, the mountainous area there, and you know, we're going to be heading into the desert, and like I said, it's a long drive. And you know, I apologize for the length of this video, but there was just so much to cover, and we hit so many different areas. So the nature of the beast is, you know, a lot of images and a lot to kind of go over. But here we are through the desert. My buddy Jay was kind enough to drive while I sat shotgun, and I was able to, you know, grab some of these images on the side of the road. And it's just a completely different landscape, and you're driving into Navajo territory, so there isn't much out there. Everything is very spaced out, and like you are in the middle of nowhere. It's wild, and you get this feeling that like you're in a different part of the country, which has kind of been forgotten. But here we are, Antelope Canyon. We took these trucks out to the actual site, and we had an amazing guide, Leo, Navajo, part of the Navajo Nation, and he took us out to Antelope Canyon, and he made sure we were like last entering the site. And you know, that was for a specific reason. We were able to take our time. The height of the season is really, I believe, not November. I'm not exactly sure when the best time to go is, but the light wasn't exactly where it usually is, where you see some of those iconic photos, but nonetheless, I enjoyed it. It was very, very difficult to focus in the canyon because it was very dark. I had to kind of switch over to manual focus, but you know, again, I got the images that I really enjoyed, and playing around with the tones and monochrome images like you see here. And you know, maybe not what you're used to seeing if you've ever seen images through Antelope Canyon, but nonetheless, I had a great time. And it was just a really iconic spot to like photograph and just walk through. And like I said, we didn't have the crowd, so we were able to go through and get some scenes where really nobody was in my pictures, which is the contrary to what I've always heard about this spot. And you know, the GoPro footage here is a little bit noisy, to say the least, but it is what it is, so you guys get the point. Alright, so that was Antelope Canyon. Really couldn't film too much in the dark with the GoPro, but had the Leica Q2. Worked out awesome. Had a great guide, Leo, kind of showing us all the spots. So if you see some of those pop up, thanks to him, pointing out all the cool different features in there. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the photos. Okay, so here we are walking out to Horseshoe Bend, which is another iconic photography spot out in Page, Arizona, all the way north Arizona. I thought the walk was going to be a lot longer. People had told me it's like 3 miles. It was literally like, felt like 400 or 500 yards. It was like really nothing. But there it is. I'm sure you've seen it. I made a crucial mistake, which you can see right here, although this was taken in portrait orientation. I did not have the lens wide enough. The Leica Q2 is only a 28. I can stitch pano if I want to, but I've kind of just dealt with it and said, okay, I don't have anything wide like a 14, 11, a 16 or anything like that. So let me just make the best out of it and kind of think outside the box and take, different photographs, which I don't always see when I see pictures of Horseshoe Canyon, Horseshoe Bend. Every picture that you see of Horseshoe Bend is usually this one right here in the front and not off to the side like these two. So I just decided to approach it differently. And I think sometimes you have to do that. I think you have to look outside the box and just work with the equipment that you have and be content with it, and just don't give up and say, well, this isn't working out, so I quit. You just approach it differently. I was still able to get that wide shot like you just saw, but it's not the whole entire canyon. But no big deal. I worked around it, and that's what you're seeing here. There's my wife checking out pictures on her phone to take, but I got to tell you, it was extremely windy, and it's really, really freaky because there is no railing going around. And the statistic is about 16 people a year fall off this cliff taking silly Instagram photos. Another reason why Instagram sucks. People are dying taking selfies on the edge of a huge ditch in the desert. So be careful if you're up there. The ground is loose in certain spots. It is sandy. You can slip. And if it's windy like it was today, you got to really be careful. It was a really cool spot where you could take really cool portraits. So we did take advantage of doing things like that. My wife was a good sport and allows me to take some of these photos of her just hanging out and doing things. So I did take advantage of that, and we hit it right when sunset was about to crack. So it was a really nice golden hour at Horseshoe Bend. And again, me using my Filmic Collection V1 presets really gives you this pastel filmic look, and it worked really well for golden hour and all the reddish brown tones in the sky, and just that particular haze out on the mountain range. It really just gave a filmic vibe, and I really enjoy it. And I think these presets work great for this kind of landscape. I was really happy with them, so I kind of edited the entire series kind of using that film collection for Lightroom. And again, here's my buddy Jay and my wife getting freaked out on the edge, trying to take some photos and trying not to fall off. Okay guys, thank you again for taking the time to watch the video. I know it was a little bit long. YouTube is probably going to hate this for the algorithm because it is definitely a longer video, but there was so much content to cover and I hit so many different places that having all the GoPro footage and some of the images that I really wanted to share with you kind of just made the video as long as it was. I actually stayed another day and explored Scottsdale, Arizona, but to be honest with you, I really didn't shoot anything there. I just kind of walked around with my cell phone and just enjoyed myself and just kind of came down from a very action-packed vacation, if you will, and just kind of hung out in Scottsdale for the day. And then we flew home the next day, and then I got back here and edited all the images that you have just witnessed up on the screen there. But again, This is more of a travel vlog, so it is a little longer in length, and I apologize for that, but I hope you subscribe and like this video, and look for more content to come. Thanks again, guys, and I appreciate it as always. See you later.